What's going on, guys? So the restock at the Time Teller shop just landed. There are 4 watches still available. 3 of those are well under $1,000, so please do not miss out because they're absolutely gonna fly. There's a pristine, immaculately sharp Zenith, hand-wind movement, just gorgeous. You're not gonna find one as clean as this. We got kind of a little bit of a flashy, sporty Tissot, very hard to find. If you kind of want that Rolex President look without the price tag, then I say check out that Tissot. And then finally, there's this Omega Cal 625 that is incredibly hard to find. The crystal on that thing alone is crazy. If you're looking for an incredibly clean, incredibly unique dress watch from Omega, check that out. And then guys, if you want to spend above $1,000, I got you covered too, because we have a very sharp Cal 1020 Omega. I've never seen one like it. So guys, check it out. And yeah, www.thetimetellershop.com. These are not going to last, so jump on them. What's going on, everybody? I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller. Welcome to the Wednesday episode. So guys, you may recall a few months ago, back in June, I turned 30. I'm officially over the hill. Well, to celebrate that milestone, I got myself this little JLC Reverso Classique, mechanical in yellow gold, and I absolutely love it. But I've been getting a bunch of questions, like to this day, that I never thought I would get. People ask me, why do you have a Reverso when you already have a Cartier Tank? Forgive me, but I didn't know that was like mutually exclusive. I didn't know that you could have one or the other, but not both. This is news to me, but whatever. I guess people are confused as to why I would have 2 square dress watches in my collection at the same time, but why wouldn't you want both of these watches? But I figured, what the heck, let's just do a watch versus watch. It's 1:55 p.m. Let's get down to business. Alrighty, so guys, you know how this works. It's the Wednesday episode, watch versus watch. We pit 2 watches against each other. Let's start with the Cartier Tank because I've had it in my collection for quite a bit longer. Alright everybody, my little Musta Cartier Tank. For my longtime viewers, you should be very familiar with this watch. This watch was actually a very big grail for me at the time. I've always wanted a Cartier Tank. Cartier is very horologically significant. You know, Cartier made some of the first wrist-worn watches for men, because originally men wore pocket watches and women wore wrist watches because women didn't have pockets in their dresses. So again, thank you to Cartier for letting the guys join in on the fun. Hey! Anyway, this was a very big deal for me when I got this watch because, I don't know, something about the square styling, something about the subdued elegance, like it doesn't take up much real estate on your wrist, but it's still flashy and eye-catching enough to make you want to look at it, especially with this very uncommon dial. 3 different finishes there. The blued hands, of course, the sapphire little gem there on the crown, very Cartier. You'll notice this watch is super duper thin thanks to the dreaded quartz movement. That's right, this watch is quartz. And guys, you'll notice it says Argent here. Now, what is Argent? Well, very interesting setup by Cartier. This watch is actually gold-plated sterling silver. So in another episode when we were talking about various watch materials, the best watches in each material, you can watch that video up here. I was struggling to pick a watch made out of solid sterling silver. I probably should have just picked this one, but I wanted one that didn't have anything else on it, so I actually picked a vintage military Longines, I believe. But this would have been a viable option as well. Gold-plated silver. Now this has a bit of patina going on. Of course, this is an older watch. I could probably clean that up if I wanted to, but I like the character that it gives. And yeah, if you want to know a little bit more about how I feel about my Cartier Tank, I actually made an episode titled 5 Things I Learned About My Cartier Tank, where I wore nothing but this watch. Nothing. No pants, no shoes, no shirt, just a Cartier Tank. No, I didn't wear any other watches except for my Cartier Tank for a week, and I kind of did a little recap, a little debriefing, I should say, about what I learned. So if you want to watch that episode, you can click up here. And yeah, this is just an amazing little watch. Again, you love these or you hate these. I think the XL Cartier tanks and the Tank Americains, as beautiful as they are, they're a bit too big for what the Cartier Tank originally was supposed to be. Again, you look at people like Muhammad Ali, he's a much bigger dude than myself. He was rocking pretty much this exact watch, and yeah, if it wasn't too small for him, it's definitely acceptable for me. So let's move on to the JLC Reverso. Very, very cool. Actually, just kidding. We're not moving on to the Reverso just yet because we haven't done the wrist shot yet. So this is the factory Cartier strap. Very, very supple, very soft reptile strap. Kind of a wine finish, or color I should say. Darker than burgundy, a little brighter than purple. So we're just gonna go ahead and say vino. We're gonna say wine. But yeah, funny enough, as dinky as this watch looks, it is the men's version, measuring in right around 31 millimeters. And yeah, again, although it's small, it's a whole lot of watch. And now we're gonna move on to another very prolific watch, the Reverso. Now we're actually gonna go, so let's go. All right, so here it is, my JLC Reverso Classique, my JLC Reverso Classique mechanical. It's kind of surreal having a watch that you've always wanted in your collection. It's crazy. From day one, I've wanted a Reverso. Figured there'd be no better way to celebrate my 30th birthday than finally pulling the trigger on one. I found the exact one I wanted in precious metals. And yeah, it's just an incredible milestone and centerpiece for my collection. So if you want to see my initial review on this watch that I did right when I got it, very fun episode, you can click right here where my blurry finger is and you can check that out. But yeah, let's talk about this watch. So again, enormous grail for me, very, very important, very cool watch. I think there's honestly a cult following for both of these watches. I say this about a lot of watches in my collection, but you know, there's people that absolutely love the Reversos and there's people that absolutely love the Cartier Tanks, but we're talking about the Reverso right now. So how does this stack up? Well, feels much more substantial on the wrist in comparison to the Cartier Tank. Of course, because this one doesn't have a quartz movement, this one has the mechanical movement, hand wind movement, so that's going to add a bit more moving parts in there, a bit more heft. Also, you know, this is yellow gold in comparison to sterling silver, so yellow gold, again, a bit more heavy. And this watch can literally, let me get you in focus, reverse in on itself, right? So that's another bit of added girth. This watch is an absolute smudge magnet, by the way. That's the one, if I could find one downside of this watch, is that it is an absolute smudge magnet with that mirrored finish. Anyway, so yeah, when you have this, I believe they call this the carriage, and then the body of the watch, that's also, you know, makes it a bit thicker. But it being a hand wind movement, it's still not very thick at all, very, very flat on the wrist. Got that signed crown there. JLC. People are going to complain about how I say it anyway. So yeah, let's go ahead and throw this on the wrist and we can talk a little bit more about it. Smudge City. All right, beautiful, beautiful watch, this JLC Reverso. This also has the factory strap. This one is not reptile at all. This is actually an ostrich leather. I believe the finish or color or tone, whatever you want to say, is roasted honey ostrich. It's not as pink as a normal ostrich leather strap. It's a bit darker, a bit deeper, but beautiful, very, very supple. Again, you're getting that signed clasp, or buckle, I should say. It's not a clasp. But yeah, beautiful watch. You'll notice it takes up a bit more real estate on my 7.5-inch wrist because the Cartier measures in around 31 millimeters. This one actually measures in right around 38. So again, much more watch here, but still very, very comfortable and very elegant. But again, this is actually one of the first ever sports watches because this was originally invented for polo players, so that when they were playing polo, they could flip the watch over and a mallet or a ball wouldn't hit your watch's crystal and it wouldn't break. So again, a little self-defense mechanism there. You'll notice some people get paintings, like honestly, you can send them to artists, you can send them to Reverso, and they use some type of enamel paint, I believe. I don't know, is it acrylic or is it enamel inlay? I'm not sure, but you can actually get artwork put on, or you can get engravings, your family name, your horse's name, whatever you want. I'm probably going to leave this mirrored. I just like that very simple look. So that's just me though, but you know, different strokes for different folks. So yeah, very, very cool watch. So let's go ahead and put them next to each other, this JLC and the Cartier. All right, which brings us to honestly my least favorite part about these watch versus watch episodes. Which one's better? All right, this is very, very difficult for me because both of these watches are very important to me. They were both grails of mine, and I absolutely love each one of them. Now, we're gonna break this down a bit, all right? As old as the JLC Reverso is, the Cartier Tank was one of the first wristwatches ever, okay? So that's kind of a point for Cartier. Without Cartier, we wouldn't have the Reverso. And then, on the flip side of that, as simple and as elegant as the Cartier Tank is, the Reverso is just a much more interesting watch. Like, having the ability to literally flip the watch over, there's probably, I don't know, you'd be hard-pressed to find a better conversation starter than wearing a Reverso on your wrist. Like, among watch enthusiasts, among people that don't know anything about watches, you pull your cuff up, you pull that bad baby out and you flip it over, people are going to want to talk about it just because it's so uncommon and just kind of bizarre. Very, very cool. Now, I think JLC, JLC, is more commonly accepted as being, you know, a more impressive or logical watch manufacturer. I think more people think JLC is just a much more impressive company all around. Me personally, I think Cartier and JLC are both, you know, Holy Trinity status. I actually made an episode about that. You can watch that episode. Very, very controversial to say that. But you know, both these companies, JLC and Cartier, they have some ridiculous watches under their belts. And I don't think people should, you know, scoff at Cartier's watchmaking. Now, out of left field, okay, this is going to be a little bit out of left field. I think out of these two watches, the Reverso is actually much more versatile, okay? I've worn the Reverso with jeans and a t-shirt. I've actually worn it with some shorts, and I've worn it with a suit. So, you know, I think I've done the same things with the Cartier as well. I did that especially during the 5 things I learned about my Cartier Tank. I wore all those different, you know, formal attire, casual attire, everyday wear. The Cartier pulls it off better than most people would think, but I think the JLC is just a little bit better at that. You know, something about that yellow gold. It's just a pleasure to wear. I don't know. Maybe it's just the honeymoon phase, but right now I'm sticking to it. I think the JLC is just a more versatile watch. But yeah, in conclusion, okay, the Cartier Tank is a much more appropriate dress watch. There's no getting around it. The Roman numerals, the simple subdued rectangular look, the sapphire gemstone on the crown. It is the ultimate formal attire watch. You'll never change my mind about that. The Cartier Tank, that is the go-to dress watch. But, again, in my opinion, the Reverso is the watch that I would just keep choosing to wear. So, out of these two, yeah, the Cartier Tank, better dress watch, but the JLC Reverso, that's going to be my choice almost every time. So, it's not that I don't like the Cartier Tank. Still, if I'm wearing a tuxedo, I'm going for that tank. But between these two, if I had to pick a watch to wear 9 times out of 10, it's going to be the Reverso. And yeah, let's be totally real though. You're not going to go wrong with either of these square beauties. So let me know what you think, guys. Again, I just said square beauties. People are going to get upset. They're rectangular. Okay, well, a square is a rectangle, but a rectangle is not a square. And I own both of these watches, so I'll call them whatever I want. I'm just kidding, guys. But yeah, let me know what you think. Out of these two watches, which one would you choose and why? And yeah, I'd love to hear from you. All right, well, there you have it. That's it for this Wednesday's episode. Hey, guys, if you enjoyed yourself, go ahead and help me out. Click the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the bell icon. You know, I upload Monday, Wednesday, Friday with a live stream Q&A every single Saturday, rain or shine. and that bell icon lets you get notified so you don't miss out on the fun, and I want to see all of you guys there, so do it. Click the dang bell icon. And if you want to go above and beyond, shop at my Amazon store. You know, I got watches, watch accessories like watch winders, watch straps, watch toolkits, and if you really, really, really love this channel, then you'll check out www.thetimetellershop.com. A lot of really cool stuff going on over there, and you don't